Well, good morning, everyone. This is Michael DeVille coming to you from beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Tatum, Heather, and I are in the luxurious studios of West USA, and this is another Creating Wealth webinar. Now, today we're going to talk about some of the how to get started. Next week, we're going to talk about strategies. But today we're going to talk about something other than that. So let me just swing over to what we're going to talk about today. Today's topics are how do we obtain capital? What are some of the obstacles we are going to encounter when we're doing our qualifications and obtaining our properties? Because this is not just something, there's actually a process. What are the potential properties coming from? Are they going to come from our universe of homes? Or, as I always say, the market will always provide. So how does an investor select a property that's on sale? And we know how to do that. We know when you're looking at the marketplace, you know how it compares to the other properties in the marketplace. And of course, this marketplace is an incredibly different marketplace than what it was just a year or a year and a half ago. So when we negotiate, we want to have an exit plan. How high are you going to go on this property? And at that point, you need to say that's high enough. And when we look at properties, we need to get ourselves to the point where we know when we're looking at a property, what we're looking at. What is it going to cost us to get the property rent ready? So these are a lot of the topics that we're going to talk about today. So when we're getting started, how does an investor obtain capital? Let me just start with this. You have to be committed. That's the number one thing we do in getting started. And it's not just commitment for yourself. This is a team. So if you're a husband and wife or partners, or you've got partners in a transaction, maybe you've got two families coming together and we're going to do this, you all need to be on the same page. Now, someone has to be the hero in the family. If someone's making the money and saving and the other one is spending, well, this doesn't work. We all need to be committed to the goal. And the goal takes about 4 years, so you need to really commit for 4 years. That's all. And we're talking about putting together a program that's going to actually last decades, generations, if we really set this up. And the first 4 properties are the most difficult to obtain. So you need to be committed for probably 4 years. Now you need to obtain capital. Now in my family, my wife was the hero in the family. I was the spender. My wife was the one who was disciplined. So we need to obtain capital. Now either you're going to increase your business dramatically, which you can. We were in a terrific marketplace. You know, there's a lot being said about the economy. The economy in lots of different industries are doing exceptionally well. And if you listen to our forecast last week, you're going to see that the first 2 quarters of 2021 are projected to be absolutely outstanding. But when we get started, how do we get cash? We need to have savings. You need to save. Now, I make a joke about this, that you can save $1,000 and lose 10 pounds all at the same time. And that's called the latte a day. So I know that everybody loves their coffee. I love the coffee. You know, after you get going, you can have all the perks that you want, but when you're getting going, just think, if you have 1 latte a day and you spend $5 at the coffee shop, and of course, your wife or your partner is going to spend another $5. That's $10 a day minimum that we're paying just at the coffee shop. That's $10 times 5 days. That's $50 a week that you're spending on coffee. What if you just cut that out? In 1 year, you're going to have $2,500. And of course, you cut out all that latte, you're going to lose 10 pounds. This is a win-win. This is just a great way to do this. What happens if just 3 days a week, just 3 days a week, you take the leftovers from dinner and you have them for lunch the next day. You know you're going to save a minimum of $10 a day times you and your spouse and your partner. That's $20 a day times 3 days a week. That's, my God, that's $60 times 50 weeks, another $3,000. So just doing those two simple things, just those two simple things, you're going to save $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year, and you can invest that and put that towards your down payment. And you need to start thinking and making a game for it. My wife was really, really good at this. She bought sales. She bought extra when meat was on sale. She'd buy the meat. When bread was on sale, she'd buy the bread. So she just saved tons and tons of money, and it becomes a game. We try and cut down expenses, and you can save an extra 10 to 20% of what you're making every year. Easy. And we're going to teach you maybe to make your business just a little better. So you can do this. That's what we do here. We try and help you. And you are welcome to call. You're welcome to get involved. That's what Creating Wealth is all about. Because you are part of that 100 million Americans that don't have a retirement account for themselves. And you know what? You get to be my age. I know that that's hard to believe, but you're going to get to the point where you're going to want to retire someday. And retiring is a financial decision. It is not an age. And you are not going to live on Social Security. So we need to start this, and that's what we're all about. So you need to obtain capital. You need to start savings. You need to start thinking of some of the other things that you have. Now, I'm going to talk about the fact that you should be getting a qualified IRA plan for yourself, a Roth, a SEP IRA. You can have an individual, a solo KEO account for yourself. When you put money into these retirement accounts, it is just like finding money. You should be doing this each and every year for yourself. And you can borrow some of this money if you need for your down payment. You can talk to your insurance man. Oftentimes you have insurance policies that you can turn in, and you can borrow money out of some of your qualified plans. So we need to come up with that down payment for yourself. Once we start getting our down payment put together, then you need to go and start the mortgage process so that you are pre-approved. What good does it do if you find the best deal in the world and you can't buy it? You're not ready. You need to be ready. So you need to find a lender that understands investments, understands what it takes, and it can help guide you. You need to go through the process and application. There is no excuse for bad credit. Pay your bills. You're going to pay them anyway. There is no reason for you not to pay your bills on time. Get good credit. If you have bad credit, talk about credit repair so that you can go ahead and get a mortgage. We want you to have a mortgage. Even if it's your very first house and it's not an investment property, we want you to do this. If it's going to go on to one of our conversion strategies, then you don't need as much down payment, but we can put this together. If you just need an FHA, it's only 3.5%. You should be able to do that just by saving that and getting your very first house first year, just by saving money. If you just did our Latte strategy, we're going to get you enough money to do that. And you need to talk to the lender to find out exactly the kind of closing costs that you need, so you know exactly how much money is it I need to make the transaction. You need to have your down payment, and you need to know exactly what my costs are going to be. Now, we often talk about doing the conversion strategy, and we use this a lot. Conversion strategy is buying a single family home for yourself. If you don't have a house of your own, you need to get one this year. You need to buy a house for you and your family this year. So if you're a first-time home buyer, there's all kinds of incentives for you to do that. You can get in and low down. You can get FHA, VA, 3% down, 5% down, some places even nothing down. There is no excuse for you not to have a property for yourself. Now, I know this is a very, very difficult market, so you're going to have to go out there and keep finding a place. You cannot get discouraged because we're going to sell 100,000 homes this year. You know that you're going to be able to get one of those properties for you. Now, I hear this all the time that it's so difficult to get the money put together. Well, get partners. If all of you are on the same page, what about your brother? What about your aunt and uncle? What about your parents? We're going to put together a partnership, and we as a team are going to do this, and the whole team needs to be committed to the strategy. Now, we have lots of strategy. We have a conversion strategy. That's a great strategy for starting out. And what that means is that we buy a house that's in the starter range, one that we can rent. We go in, we clean it up, we paint it, we enjoy all the benefits of home ownership. And then we start looking for a second property for ourselves because we're going to convert our home into a rental. And we're going to move into another homeowner situation, another owner occupied. You get a better rate. And we're going to turn that one into a strategy as well. You can buy 4 of those pretty doggone easily. In 4 years, you can have 4 properties. Now, there's no excuse for you not to do this. So if you have an excuse, you're welcome to call me and we'll discuss what that excuse is. Now, there's lots of obstacles that you're going to run across. And just because there's an obstacle, I don't want you to stop. Now, you're going to get your down payment. But keep in mind, if you're in the real estate business or if you're self-employed, you need to have 2 years of 1099 reporting. You need to have your taxes put together. And you need to have 2 years of supporting documents. That's easy peasy. You can certainly do that. You're also going to need some financial reserves. You need to talk to your lender and ask them, what do I need to do to get this? So you need to get your credit. Again, there is no excuse for bad credit. Now we're talking we have some obstacles in today's marketplace. You know that we're having problems with appraisals, that properties are stripping they're going up so fast that some of the appraisals are coming in. Well, if it's trial and error, you just need to keep going. Sometimes, and with closing costs, you just need to put the whole package together. Now, what are the potential properties? Where are they going to come from? Well, I have a saying that the market always provides. They will fall into your lap if you are ready. They're just going to fall. You just ask the universe and they just come to you. The market always provides. Now, I like to help the market a little bit by searching through the universe of homes that I've created. Now, we've talked about the universe of homes. Those are ones we've already done the research on. We know they're going to work. We know they're in a good neighborhood. They're in the price range that we like. They're in the rental that we like. They're close to us, so we can go ahead and drive there. If there's a problem, we need to see the property. This is in your universe of homes. You know what the prices are. And every once in a while, you're going to see one that comes up and it's priced on sale. It has special prices. You can even do this with your database. Whenever a property in a particular area of one of your universal homes comes up, it'll automatically tag you that, hey, here's one that's available to us. So how do you know when you're going to select when it's on sale? Well, you know this. You know when they come into a price range. You know these homes are sold in ranges. You know sometimes they're sold between $280 and $325. If it's close to the $280, it's on sale, particularly in today's marketplace. You need to be very, very aware. This is a business that we're running. We have strategies. If you just follow the strategy, you are going to do well. Now, here's the other thing. One of you has to be a hero. My wife's the hero. Patience. Patience. I want you to buy one house a year. One. Just one. 2 if you can, but I want you to buy at least one. So you have all year to find one. You need to be patient. You just need to wait for that property to come along. You just need to be aware, be ready, have your cash put together, your pre-qual put together, and be ready. Now, I always search my universe of homes because I know this is work. But sometimes you need to pivot out of that and look at other areas that may also, because we don't want to be blind, particularly in today's market where it's so aggressive. We have so much competition. You need to just be aware, and you need to know what price range you're looking at. We've already talked about the fact that you need to be into a particular market. So there's lots of sub-markets within the rental business, and which one are you concentrating on? So how do you negotiate in today's market? This is really, really hard. You know that when when you're looking at these properties and maybe there's multiple offers on there. So let's just talk about that. So we need to look at the property. We need to know, what do you think it's worth? Then we have to factor in, what's it going to sell for? And is it reasonable to assume that it's still going to be within our parameters? Now, we do this by using our calculations. So oftentimes, if we have parameters, we want to keep our return. And we've talked about the benchmark here in Maricopa County being about 4.5% net. And that's, of course, with all of the figures. That's management, that's repair escrow, that's vacancy, that's factoring the fact that you're going to have some cost when you go to lease it. Typically, another agent will bring it in. It's going to cost a few $100s. Then all the other things like, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and homeowner association. So we try to put all those costs in. And if you're getting 4.5% or better, still a good deal. So you can tell if it's a good deal or not. And when you look at the properties, you need to know, how much is it going to cost me to bring this up to rental value, ready to rent. Now, we all need to sit down and say, I have a walkaway price. What am I not willing to pay on this? And I know we're having all these tremendous stories where there's so many people looking for properties, and that's going to continue for the next couple of years. Now, we're going to ebb and flow, but I'm looking for a continual price increase for a number of years unless we have a Mad Max event. So let's talk about, how do you negotiate? Oftentimes we want to talk about not necessarily the buyer. How about the agent? You tell them what a great agent you are, how you've done this many, many times, and that you're both on the same page because the seller wants to close, the buyer wants to close, and we're both working for the same goal. And I will make this transaction as smooth as possible, and it'll be easy, because ultimately, just because it's the highest price doesn't necessarily mean that that transaction will close. If you're dealing with someone who's never done this before versus someone that's done it for 20 years, I think I would prefer to do business with someone that's done it for 20 years, so I know that the transaction will close, and my seller can then make decision and can move forward. Because remember, when they sell their house, they have to buy something, and they need that comfort to know that the transaction is going to close. Price is not always the main ingredient. It's always part of it, but sometimes you'll get a little bit of a discount just because we're ready to go. Now, always visit the property before submitting an offer. You got to know what it is that you're looking at. We want you to go to the property and prepare a conditions report so that you know, what am I going to have to do? You need to look at the paint. We try and standardize the colors of the paint. So if you need to go in and touch up, you know what color it is there. You want to put the same window treatments. You want to oftentimes put the same flooring in. So when you look at the property, you have to say, well, do I have to put window treatments in? Do I have to put new appliances in? So if I pay $350,000 for this, do I have another $15,000 or do I have $1,500? We have a property condition report that we suggest that you fill out so that you can remember exactly what this is. So you have to look at the paint, the carpeting, the countertops, the landscaping. You need to do the due diligence. When you get your home inspected, we need to know, because oftentimes there's deferred maintenance. We prefer to do it ourselves, which is another reason that you could also negotiate, is that sellers often don't want to do the repairs. If they have leaky faucets and they get problems in the house, maybe they're better off just crediting to you and you do it. We're going to have a period where it's going to be vacant. We can get it all done at that time, and we can bring our vendors in, and we know how it was done. We know what materials were used. We know who did it. So when you do the due diligence, oftentimes it's another opportunity to negotiate for yourselves. We also want to look at the property. We have vacancy. Now, we want to get these properties leased as quickly as we can, but if we're going to be down for 30 or 40 days doing all kinds of work in the property, we have to factor that into what our cost is going to be, knowing that I'm not going to have rent for a month. And of course, our rents are fairly important to us. Most of the rents here in town are $1,500-$1,600, but maybe you get one that's $2,000 or $2,500. That needs to be accommodated. So a good rental, if it's rent ready, is worth more money to you. Not only do you not have to do it, it's already done. You don't have the expense, but you don't have the time that it's down, because we want to get these properties standardized, and we want to anticipate the level of uh, standardization on all of ours. So we want our properties clean, safe, and friendly, so that our tenants want to rent from us, and we want to maximize our return. So I just want to recap. We want to get your money. Save. You are going to have plenty of time. Once we put the strategy together, you are going to have so much money coming into you. You can afford to do whatever you want to do. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And this strategy is a decades, if not generational. So if we put 10 properties together for you, you are going to have $10,000 to $15,000 a month coming in every month, basically for the rest of your life. And it's going to grow and always go to market. So you are going to have to sacrifice and scrimp and kind of work a little bit for maybe 3 or 4 or 5 years. After that, we can start loosening up. And when you get to be my age, you can have anything that you want. Get your loan put together, get your credit put together, and start shopping. Go through your universe of homes. You're always doing some networking. Tell the other people that you're looking for properties, and they will come to you. Do the calculations. Do the walkthrough so that you know exactly what it is that you're looking at, and make your offer accordingly. Now, I want to thank you so very, very much for listening to me today. If I can help you in any way, I am more than happy to sit down with you. I'll brainstorm with you. If you want me to work calculations with you, we will. We here at Creating Wealth are here to help you. We don't want you to be part of that 100 million people that don't have a retirement account. We want you to have a fabulous, full, exciting life. And here it is laid out right in front of you. If you have a question, send it to Creating Wealth at West USA. If you'd like to make an appointment with me, you can email me at creatingwealth at West USA, or you can call me at the corporate office, 602-942-4200. If you have any questions or comments, if you'd like to be involved with us, we're going to be having classes again where we're going to be teaching this. If you have some comments, if you have some other things that you'd like to discuss, just email us at creatingwealth@westusa.com. I want to thank you very much, and go have a great day. Bye-bye now.